Imagine stepping off the plane in Tokyo. The neon lights, the crowds, the sounds, everything feels new, exciting, and a little overwhelming. You're ready to explore, but there's one thing that could make you stand out for the wrong reasons: your clothes. In Japan, fashion is not just about personal style. What you wear signals respect, awareness, and sensitivity to the culture around you. Tourists often don't realize this and end up making mistakes that make locals raise their eyebrows or, worse, quietly judge them. Today, we're going to talk about what not to wear in Japan. We'll cover clothing choices that can make you look out of place, seem disrespectful, or simply attract unwanted attention. These tips aren't about being overly strict or forcing yourself to dress like a local. They're about blending in respectfully and showing that you understand and appreciate Japanese culture. So, if you're planning a trip to Japan or just curious about the culture, stay tuned, because knowing these simple rules will not only help you avoid embarrassment, but it will also earn you respect from the people you meet. Chapter 1. Don't wear shoes indoors. One of the most important cultural rules in Japan is simple but often overlooked by visitors. Never wear your outdoor shoes indoors. In Japanese culture, shoes are considered unclean because they carry dirt, germs, and dust from the streets. To protect the cleanliness of the home or sacred spaces, it's customary to remove them at the entrance. This practice goes back centuries, tied to respect for living spaces and the value placed on purity and order. The moment you step inside a Japanese home, a traditional inn called a ryokan, certain restaurants, temples, or even schools, you'll notice a small entryway called a genkan. This is where shoes come off. It's not optional, it's expected. In many cases, you'll be offered indoor slippers to wear around the house. However, there are exceptions. In tatami rooms, you should remove even the slippers and walk only in socks or barefoot to protect the delicate straw mats. Here's where tourists often slip up. They forget and walk straight in with sneakers or boots. The atmosphere instantly changes. What seems normal to you feels disrespectful and unhygienic to those around you. Another common mistake is wearing old socks with holes. It might feel minor, but in Japan, where neatness and presentation matter, it can leave the wrong impression. There are even special slippers for bathrooms, separate from the ones for living areas. Mixing them up is another common error that locals quietly notice. Pro tip: choose shoes that are easy to slip on and off, especially if you'll be visiting temples or private homes. Complicated laces will only slow you down and draw attention. Respecting this small but meaningful custom goes a long way. By removing your shoes, you're not just keeping a floor clean, you're showing humility, awareness, and respect for Japanese culture. Chapter 2. Avoid overly revealing clothes. When visiting Japan, one of the easiest ways to stand out as a tourist, often in the wrong way, is by wearing clothes that are too revealing. Modesty is deeply valued in Japanese daily life. And while modern fashion in Tokyo or Osaka can look bold and stylish, it is rarely about exposing a lot of skin. Instead, it's about balance, elegance, and subtlety. Tourists often make the mistake of dressing for Japan's humid summers, as if they were heading to a tropical beach resort. Tank tops, low-cut tops, and very short shorts may feel natural in your home country, but in Japan, they can be considered inappropriate or even disrespectful in certain settings. Interestingly, you'll notice that many Japanese women wear skirts or shorts that might seem short by Western standards, but they almost never show cleavage. Shoulders and legs can be visible, but plunging necklines are avoided. This reflects a cultural idea that certain parts of the body should remain private, even if other parts are exposed. For men, the rule is equally important. Walking around shirtless, even in the hottest weather, is frowned upon unless you're actually at the beach, a pool, or in a hot spring area. Public spaces like city streets, trains, or shrines expect a level of modesty that shows self-awareness and respect for others. Another important detail is context. What might be acceptable in Shibuya's nightlife districts may feel completely out of place at a temple, a traditional inn, or when meeting locals in a rural town. Dressing modestly helps you avoid awkward stares and shows cultural sensitivity. Pro tip: choose light, breathable fabrics like linen or cotton. A simple t-shirt or blouse with sleeves, paired with airy pants or a skirt, will keep you cool while still respecting cultural norms. You'll blend in comfortably, avoid drawing the wrong kind of attention, and show that you understand the quiet dignity of Japanese everyday life. Chapter 3. Don't wear loud or offensive prints. In Japan, how you dress isn't just about fashion, it reflects your awareness of the people around you. One of the biggest mistakes tourists make is wearing clothing with loud or offensive prints. Japan values harmony, respect, and subtlety, so anything that disrupts that sense of balance can feel jarring. Back home, you might not think twice about wearing a t-shirt with a funny slogan, a sarcastic phrase, or a bold graphic. But in Japan, shirts with profanity, drug references, or sexual imagery are not just frowned upon, they can make people uncomfortable and even embarrassed to be near you. There's also historical sensitivity to keep in mind. Any imagery that resembles Nazi symbols, war emblems, or militaristic designs is an absolute no-go. What some people treat as edgy fashion is, in Japan, seen as deeply offensive and disrespectful because of the painful history attached to those symbols. Even items that look harmless to you, like camouflage gear, can sometimes send the wrong message in certain settings. It's also worth noting that Japanese fashion, while creative and stylish, is usually neat, balanced, and coordinated. You'll notice people wearing solid colors, soft patterns, or carefully layered outfits. Even when styles are playful or trendy, they rarely cross into aggressive or confrontational messaging. Pro tip: pack clothes that are simple, clean, and versatile. A plain shirt, a patterned blouse, or a neutral jacket will serve you better than anything with slogans or graphics. This doesn't mean you can't express your personality. Japan loves individuality, but it should be expressed in a way that respects the environment and the people around you. By keeping your prints subtle, you'll blend in more easily, avoid offending anyone by accident, and show that you understand one of Japan's most important cultural values: harmony. Chapter 4. Avoid wrinkled, dirty, or sloppy clothes. In Japan, appearance is more than just personal style, it's a reflection of respect for yourself and for others. That's why walking around in wrinkled shirts, stained pants, or old torn clothing can send the wrong message. Unless it's intentional fashion, sloppy clothes are often seen as careless and even inconsiderate. One thing you'll notice quickly in Japan is how neat and well-groomed people look, even when they're dressed casually. A simple outfit, a t-shirt and jeans, still looks sharp because it's clean, ironed, and put together with care. Small details matter. Shoes are polished, jackets are tidy, and fabrics are free from wrinkles. Tourists who overlook this stand out immediately, not because of what they're wearing, but because of how they're wearing it. This doesn't mean you need to pack a business suit for sightseeing. Japan doesn't expect tourists to look formal. What matters is effort. A freshly washed shirt, pressed trousers, or a neat dress will make you blend in much more comfortably than clothes that look like they were pulled from the bottom of a suitcase. Wrinkled clothes, in particular, are something many visitors underestimate. In Japan's culture of precision and attention to detail, an untidy outfit suggests a lack of care. And because cleanliness is so highly valued, stained or dirty clothes can leave a poor impression, especially in places like restaurants, shrines, or when meeting locals. Pro tip: before you step out of your hotel or ryokan, do a quick mirror check. Ask yourself, would I feel comfortable meeting someone important like this? If the answer is no, it's probably not good enough for public spaces in Japan. By keeping your outfits neat and tidy, you're not just looking good for photos, you're showing awareness of Japanese values and respect for the people around you. And that simple effort will go a long way in making your trip smoother and more enjoyable. Chapter 5. Be careful with traditional clothing. For many travelers, wearing a kimono, or yukata, is one of the highlights of visiting Japan. These traditional garments are beautiful, elegant, and deeply tied to the country's history. Putting one on can feel like stepping into another time. But here's the key: what matters most is how you wear it. The mistake some tourists make is treating kimonos or yukatas like costumes. They wear them casually in places where they don't fit, or they put them on incorrectly without realizing the cultural meaning behind each detail. Unlike a t-shirt, traditional clothing follows strict rules of presentation. One of the most important rules is how the kimono is wrapped. The left side should always cross over the right. Reversing it right over left is not just backward, it is the way deceased people are dressed for burial. Making that mistake, even by accident, can feel shocking or offensive to locals who understand the symbolism. There are also rules about the accessories. Obi belts must be tied properly. Footwear like geta or zori sandals should match the outfit. And seasonal colors or patterns are traditionally observed. These aren't just fashion choices, they're part of a cultural language. The good news? Locals are happy to see foreigners enjoying their traditions as long as it's done with respect. That's why the best option is to rent your kimono or yukata from a professional shop. The staff will dress you correctly, explain the etiquette, and often guide you on where it's appropriate to wear it, like during festivals, tea ceremonies, or strolls in historic districts such as Kyoto's Gion. Pro tip: treat the kimono not as a costume, but as cultural heritage. Wear it proudly, but also carefully. By doing so, you're not just taking photos, you're showing appreciation for centuries of Japanese tradition. Chapter 6. Don't wear oversized backpacks in crowded places. This tip isn't about style, it's about manners. If you spend even a short time in Japan, you'll notice how smoothly public life flows, even in one of the busiest countries in the world. A big reason for that is consideration. People are constantly aware of how their actions affect others, and nowhere is this more important than on Japan's trains and buses. Public transport here is famously crowded. At rush hour in Tokyo, you'll see commuters packed tightly into carriages, standing shoulder to shoulder. In these situations, wearing a large, heavy backpack doesn't just make you uncomfortable, it makes life harder for everyone around you. A swinging bag can bump into people, take up extra space, and even block someone from moving in or out of the train. That's why Japanese commuters handle their bags differently. Instead of keeping backpacks strapped on, they often take them off and hold them in front of their bodies, especially in crowded trains. It's a small act, but it shows awareness and respect for the people sharing that space. Others use compact shoulder bags or slim backpacks that don't stick out. Tourists who ignore this stand out immediately, not because of what they're carrying, but because they seem unaware of the unspoken rules of courtesy. A crowded train in Tokyo isn't the place to haul a giant hiking pack. Pro tip: pack light when exploring the city. If you really need a backpack, choose a smaller one. And when trains or buses get crowded, take it off and hold it in front of you. This simple gesture blends you right in with locals, prevents awkward accidents, and shows you understand the importance of thinking about others. In Japan, these little details make a big difference. Being mindful of your backpack isn't just about convenience, it's about showing respect for the culture of harmony that keeps Japan moving so smoothly. Chapter 7. Avoid heavy perfume or strong scents. Clothing isn't the only part of your appearance that makes an impression, your scent does too. In Japan, less is more. While many cultures embrace strong perfumes or colognes as a sign of style, in Japan heavy fragrance can be overwhelming and even considered impolite. This sensitivity comes from the cultural value placed on cleanliness and subtlety. A fresh, clean scent is admired, but powerful smells, whether from perfume, cologne, or even overly scented lotions, stand out in the wrong way. Imagine stepping into a crowded train or a small restaurant. In such close spaces, a strong fragrance can quickly feel intrusive. It's not that Japanese people don't care about smelling pleasant, they do, but the preference leans toward natural freshness rather than artificial strength. The goal is to leave a light impression, not to fill the room with your scent. For tourists, this means dialing back on products that might be normal at home. A spritz of perfume that feels subtle in an open space might feel overwhelming in Japan's compact environments. Pro tip: stick to the basics. A clean shower, fresh clothes, and a touch of deodorant go much further in Japan than any expensive fragrance. If you enjoy perfume, choose something light and use it sparingly. This way, you'll feel confident, and those around you will appreciate your consideration. In short, smelling clean, not strong, is the key. By respecting this quiet cultural preference, you'll blend in more smoothly and show an awareness of the small details that mean so much in Japanese daily life. Chapter 8. Shoes for special places. Even after you've mastered the rule of taking off your outdoor shoes in Japan, there's one more detail that often trips up visitors: special slippers. In many Japanese homes, inns, and even some restaurants, slippers are provided for guests. But here's the catch: there are different slippers for different areas. and mixing them up is a common mistake that locals notice right away. The most important example is bathroom slippers. These are separate from indoor slippers and are kept at the entrance of the restroom. The idea is simple. You switch into bathroom slippers when entering, and switch back to indoor slippers when leaving. Walking back into the living room with bathroom slippers on is considered very unhygienic, since it spreads germs from the restroom into the clean areas of the home. This system reflects Japan's strong cultural emphasis on cleanliness and boundaries between spaces. Just as outdoor dirt stays outside, bathroom germs stay in the bathroom. It might feel confusing at first, but paying attention makes it easy. Look down at the entrance of the restroom if slippers are there. They're meant for you to use. And always leave them behind when you're done. Pro tip: take a moment to watch what locals do, especially in traditional inns or when visiting someone's home. If slippers are provided, use them correctly. It may seem like a small detail, but it shows respect for Japanese customs and an awareness of the care they put into maintaining clean, orderly spaces. By following this simple practice, you won't just avoid an awkward mistake, you'll show that you understand and appreciate one of Japan's most important values: respect for cleanliness. Conclusion: so, what should you take away from this guide on what not to wear in Japan? The rules are actually simple, but they carry deep meaning. Don't wear shoes indoors. Avoid overly revealing or sloppy clothes. Skip offensive prints or slogans. Respect traditional garments like kimonos. Keep your appearance neat and tidy. Travel light, especially on crowded trains. And keep scents subtle and fresh. These aren't just fashion rules, they're reflections of Japanese values. In Japan, the way you dress is seen as a window into your attitude toward the people around you. By making small adjustments in how you present yourself, you show that you're not just a tourist passing through, you're a thoughtful guest who values and respects the culture. And here's the beauty of it: these little changes don't make your trip harder. In fact, they make it smoother. You'll avoid awkward stares, you'll blend in more comfortably, and locals will often treat you with greater warmth because you've shown awareness. In a society built on harmony, that respect goes a long way. Now, let me turn the question over to you. Which of these tips surprised you the most? Were you already familiar with the shoe rule? Or did the detail about kimonos being crossed, left over right, catch you off guard? Maybe it was the reminder about perfume, or the small but important detail about bathroom slippers. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your reactions and even your own experiences. If you've been to Japan before, did you notice these customs? And if you're planning your first trip, which of these tips will you keep in mind? If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. It helps others discover the content. Share it with a friend who's planning to travel to Japan. And don't forget to subscribe for more cultural insights and travel wisdom from around the world. Because at the end of the day, travel isn't just about taking pictures or ticking destinations off a list. It's about connection. It's about understanding. And most importantly, it's about respect.